They've been doing their thing, putting haters to shame, and they both got that master plan. It ain't nothing you can do to stop their thing. The Styles family, the Styles family, Styles family. Oh yeah.
What's going on, Style Squad? It's your boy, Big Remo, and it's a very beautiful, talented, gorgeous. No styles, baby. No styles.
Konnichiwa. I am Nova Styles, as the handsome Remo just mentioned, and we are the STYLES Familia.
And we're back with another video for you guys.
Yes, on this wonderful, beautiful day, we are back to talk about something that we just dropped, and kind of like the aftermath that comes with it. And we felt, is because of the experience that we had and we're currently going through, we thought that it would be a great idea to share like I said, the aftermath of things that happens after having a miscarriage.
Right. And the ways that you can support a couple going through it, you know, and even if you're a friend, family, or just somebody that knows the couple, not really a friend, but just, you know, a coworker, whatever, you know, these are ways that you can support that couple, that single person. These are things that you can do to support them and help them out in like their ways of healing and stuff like that.
Yes, we want to start out by saying thank you to those who have already reached out to us, who already contacted us, who put comments. We really appreciate you. Sometimes people don't know what to say, and that's another reason why we're doing this video.
Right.
But there are many of you that have reached out to us and even put in the comments about what happened. And if you're just now joining us, let's give them a little bit of context. We got pregnant naturally after being told that we would never be able to.
Right.
And we were so excited, and unfortunately that ended in a miscarriage. And we recently put out 2 videos, 2 parts, telling our journey through that process. So if you haven't gone to see those videos, go watch it.
Check them out.
All right, so that happened to us. We had that experience, and now we're, like Babe and I just said, we're gonna speak about how you can support a couple that has gone through a miscarriage, or a single person that has gone through a miscarriage as an outside person.
Right. And first and foremost though, like, how are you feeling a little bit?
I think that I'm feeling a little bit better. It kind of comes in waves. And I think that it's grief. People don't look at it as grief, and to me, a miscarriage is a loss of life, which essentially is a death. Right? And with death, we go through a grieving process. And I think it's the same with miscarriages. And oftentimes it's not looked at it that way. And so things come in waves for me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, good. And I'm just chilling, having a regular day. And sometimes it hits me and I'm like, oh, man, yeah. And so I think I'm in a much better space. But it does come back in waves. What about you? How you doing?
And before I answer your question, I only asked because we were doing a lot better, you know. But I think in editing the video and just like reliving some of those moments, things like feelings come back, and you start to feel things that you thought were like dealt with or like squared away. So that's why I asked you that. I know that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Feelings definitely came back, and I think in editing the video and reliving that moment, but I also think because people were saying congratulations without, I don't know, like maybe paying attention, because we clearly put this is not a pregnancy announcement, and then people were still saying like congratulations. So I think that kind of played my emotions as well.
A little bit, yeah. And if you again, like if you genuinely know us, more so than her, like she's doing a pregnancy announcement. It's gonna be like
we're not doing a pregnancy announcement. It's gonna be like
Steven Spielberg's gonna direct it. You know what I mean? Like Spike Lee is gonna be in it. Like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a movie. You know, like look at the proposal. Look at the engagement party. Like y'all should know it's gonna be elevated. It's not gonna be a text or a little YouTube video. It's gonna be like a movie, like whole production. But
yeah. But how are you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling good. It's kind of the same thing for me. Like it comes and goes. I do think about it every day though. But I think about it every day in like in a positive way. And sometimes I think about it in a negative way sometimes, you know. But definitely when people ask you like, when are you having kids, or like when you get, you know what I mean? And in my culture, it's often like, yo, when you gonna when you gonna breed her, you know? Like it's like these questions happen over and over and over again. But I realize too that you have to forgive people because it's ignorance, and ignorance doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means that you lack the knowledge about a particular topic. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people in our culture, in our society, they lack the knowledge to know that you shouldn't be asking people that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not. This is not targeted toward anybody who has asked me this in the past few days or whatever. But I'm just saying that there is no knowledge behind it.
All right, and there's a reason why we're doing this.
Right.
To help that we're having these conversations, because in our culture and our communities, these conversations aren't had enough. They're happening more so now.
Right.
But we want to contribute to it, not only talking about miscarriage and infertility, but the ways in which people handle and support people.
The way people kind of just like dismiss it. Like, it's like, oh, you can just try again. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, we could, but like, I lost a child. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually saw it. It does bother me in like the slightest way, you know?
We're going to chat about ways in which you can support people, a couple, individuals that have gone through miscarriage.
Right.
And we're seeing this in ways for singles, because there are single people, who women who go through this alone. Also couples, we're also speaking about couples, hetero couples, as well as same-sex couples that are going through this experience together.
Right.
And so one of the ways we think from the beginning to support people that have gone through a miscarriage is to, one, acknowledge the situation and the experience.
Absolutely.
And what we mean by that is just not, if you know of it, someone has expressed it to you, you don't just simply don't say anything at all. Say something.
Right.
Say something. Right. Even if it's like just a simple I'm sorry, or I see you, I see what you're going through. Say something.
Right.
We have just put out our story, and there are people that have not, like they're talking to me and they've seen and heard about our story and have said absolutely nothing.
Right.
And I'm not sure if it's because they don't know what to say, they're scared to say something, or they don't even think this is important. But I think it's important that you acknowledge the fact that a person or a couple has experienced a loss of a miscarriage.
Absolutely. And you could kind of compare it to, if you don't know what to say, it's kind of comparative to an actual loss. I mean, it is actual loss, but a loss of, like, you know,
a loss of life.
Loss of life, yeah. Right. So if you hear somebody has lost a loved one, you simply say, I'm sorry for your loss.
People don't acknowledge it as that way, because when we think about a loss of life, there are procedures that happen after that, right?
Right.
There is a memorial service or a funeral. Right. When there's a miscarriage, I guess because the baby didn't come earthside, there's none of that happens. Right. Unless, I think maybe it's further along beyond a certain point, but there's no memorial service, there's no funeral or anything like that. So maybe people's perspectives aren't like this is a death. Right. Yeah, but it really is.
Absolutely.
So the overall thing is just to acknowledge it. We're also now going to speak about ways in which you can support, because if a lot of people don't know what to say, they don't know what to do, they don't know how to navigate through this space. We were thinking about ways in which to provide some support for other people that are having trouble navigating through this space, and providing support to couples and individuals that have gone through it. And if you see me looking at my phone, I journaled about this, and I just put some of the notes in my phone, so I might be like looking down baby as well.
Okay. Sorry.
I just have put some notes down. And so thinking about how we can support as well, right, people that have navigating through this space. And so we said acknowledge the situation. Absolutely. And then once the acknowledgement happens, everyone is an individual. Right? Whether they're going through this as an individual or a couple, their experiences are very different from everyone else's, right? So we would suggest that you ask that person or that couple how they want to be supported. Right, because
we can want to be supported in many different ways, as in like together, as also as in individuals. So, but just simply ask. I know this may be a difficult time for you. How would you like me to support you? Right. One, to gain some insight into what that person needs. And two, maybe that person might not even help, and you're gonna help them navigate through it, right? Absolutely. So ask the person or the couple how they would like to be supported during this time. Definitely. To follow up after that is thinking about ways in which you can support that person or that couple, and maybe they don't even know. So here are some ideas to help them. Whether that is providing them with moral support, right, physical support by providing them with gifts. You might send a gift card. You might send just like a little, we got a nice little basket from one of my best friends that had just like little gifts and trinkets of it. Send flowers. We also got flowers from another one of our best friends. You can send us a simple text message. Send a story. So my other best friend sent some resources. She literally sent me free acupuncture for this weekend. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, she sent me an article. She sent me, I mean, she knows about these things, but still, you know, she sent me the resource. I had no idea. Even if you don't have an idea of a background about it, maybe you might do some research around something and you send it to the couple for some resources that they can use. This is a new space for us. Absolutely. So I had no idea. So she sent some resources. But thinking about ways in which you can support morally or physically for that couple or right, that individual. Spiritually, whatever. Like one of my friends actually, he called me. He was like, "Yo, I know you're having a hard time right now, bro, but I just want to make you laugh." And I'm on the phone, I'm Ferran, and I'm dying, bro. He's having, and again, this is a very sad time, right? But I'm on the phone laughing, bro. Like, and I'm like, yo, man, like, so shout out to you, Ferran. Like, really appreciate that. So that way as well, like that's not physical or providing anything like that, but that's kind of moral support and providing some laughter and joy in a time that is usually is a sad time for the individual couple. And the next thing we would suggest is not to minimize the loss of a situation through dismissing it or your words. Yeah. I think the hardest thing, at least for us, is when people are just like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're young. You can try again." Yeah. Or "You'll have a baby. It's coming." It's just like, yeah, it's we understand that, but that's like dismissing everything that just happened. That's the equivalent of like, I'm gonna use two examples of like, you have a puppy or a dog, and the dog dies, and say, all right, we'll get you another dog. There's plenty of dogs in the world. You can adopt a dog. You can, you know what I mean? There's dogs everywhere. I saw a dog on the street yesterday. It's thinking about providing people with not dismissing their experience or the things that they're going through. To me, miscarriage equals loss. Right, absolutely. And for most people, it doesn't. It's like a hashtag. It sounds good. Miscarriage equals loss. And thinking about that, it's also not just this isolated situation where it's just one day I'll tell you I'm sorry and for what you're going through, and that's it. Yeah. As we said, it's a loss, so it's a grieving process.
So check in with the people that have experiences. If these are people that are your friends, your family, check in with them. It's not just when it happens you hear about it. Maybe in the next few days, check in. Hey, everything is going okay? You're doing all right? Do you need anything? Keep checking in, and it may not be forever, but for the first few weeks or time, continue to check in and make sure that person, those people are okay. You know, and it's not, and you don't have to be like, oh, I'm checking in because you had the miscarriage 2 weeks ago or something like that. It's just like a soft check-in to make sure they're okay. The next thing is an option to, if you have experienced a loss of a miscarriage, is to think about.
Definitely want to like share that story, and that's something that we kind of was on the fence about, but ultimately we did it because, for one, it was super therapeutic to just talking to the camera. It's therapeutic to talk to you guys anyway, but this particular event that happened to us was very traumatic. So to get off our chest and just unleash that tension, that energy, and to hopefully educate and teach you guys about this intense situation, it was good for us. So we had to share the story. We felt like we was doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't. And hopefully it educates a lot of couples, a lot of singles, just people around the world, because it's something that we feel like is not talked about in any capacity.
Also, not just to share your story on a platform or a social media outlet, share your story to, if you have gone through it, share it with that individual or that couple. More than likely, they may not even know that you had experienced the same thing. And you can share your story, share the things that you did to navigate through it, and maybe connect on a level. We have a couple friends that are a couple of ours that have gone through the same thing, and we had no idea. And it happened to come up when we were on a double date together. And honestly, I don't know about it for you, babe. I think we spoke about it. I was just like, what? I felt such a connection and a little like kind of relief. Like, wow, you guys are going through the same thing. The fact that they even went through the same experience.
They
and
had understanding. It was like,
we were able to talk about it, connect, and share like resources and things that we did to get through it, things that they did to get through it. And now I kind of feel like it took our relationships together as couples to like a whole new level because we were able to connect through that experience. So share your story with the couple or individual that has gone through the miscarriage if you have gone through it as well.
Absolutely. That's big, babe. That's big.
I think the biggest thing is to be there in any way, in as many ways as possible for the individual or couple that has gone through this experience, and steer away from ignoring the situation, questions about trying again, and about children in general.
Minimizing the situation.
And minimizing the situation. And stay in a stance of positivity and perspective and support and perspective, and thinking about what would I want if I was going through that. So we appreciate you. We think we will continue with a second video of how partners can support each other during this time, so we can share about how we've supported each other and how you can support your partner if you've gone through the same thing. Again, we appreciate your love, your support during this time and overall of the South Familia. And we will be back on Tuesday with another video.
Absolutely. I do want to say too, like, this is life, man. This is real life. This is our journeys, our story. It's not perfect. We decided to share our love story, our journey with the world. So definitely leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. Because it's not easy, but we feel like it's necessary, you know. And it helps us, you know. Definitely came a long way. This is a tough time. We're okay, but we're gonna get better. And you know, it's just one bump in the road. So.
Yes. Thank you. Peace.